Hey guys, Cutie Pie. I am back again. This time, I just finished showing you all the wolves and dogs I've collected since my last update, my last dog collecting video, and now I'm back with the more movies and games that I've got. I cannot speak English for some reason. Like last time, I will go through each movie and the games I've got, talk about it, and see if I will recommend it or not. So let's go. First movie on the list is a horror movie from 2014, I think, called Lights Out. This movie is really, really good. I actually really enjoyed it. I mean, the short film that I've seen of this before was scarier. It was much scarier. It's about this girl and her brother being haunted by an entity, I think, that only appears in the dark. Showed her mother is not right in the head. Apparently, her mother has been in a mental institution with the same girl, hence why she hates being in the dark. Not a really good fitting mother. Here's the disc. And if y'all haven't seen this movie, I highly suggest you go watch it. It's really good. This next movie is one that I actually got about a couple weeks ago, called a remake of Call of the Wild. A really cool movie. I like it a lot. I think it's like the third or fourth remake of this the book of the same name. And if you haven't seen this, the dog in the movie and the wolves, they're all entirely in CGI. And at first I was kind of wondering why they did that, but now I know, because they have the things that the dog does in this movie, does things that a real dog wouldn't be able to do. And as you can see, Harrison Ford's in it. It's a really good movie. I actually really like it. Go check it out if y'all haven't. Here's a game that I've got. I actually forgot I had this. The 7th Resident Evil game. Here's the disc. Really cool game. I really like this game a lot. And for the 8th game, I do have it, but I can't play it because my sister got the wrong freaking console for it. Wait. The only thing I don't like about this game is the fact that it's all in first person. But I do love that there's a VR attachment to it. There's PlayStation VR mode included. I swear, you play it in the VR, it's 10 times more scarier than you play without it. Really good game, right? And here's my collection of Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3. I love the Spider-Man film. Spider-Man is my favorite superhero franchise. What happened here? I don't know why my discs were like that. But all 3 movies are in here. Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3. They're all in here. I really enjoy these movies. I especially enjoy the 3rd movie. I don't know why that movie gets a lot of shit. The best part of the third movie is the third climax. If you haven't seen these movies, there's Sam Raimi. Directed by Sam Raimi. I'm not speaking bad about the other Spider-Man movies. I think they're really good, but the Sam Raimi ones are the ones I grew up with. So, this next movie is 2012. It's my favorite natural disaster film. The dialogue in it is not exactly the best, but the special effects in it and the story is really good. It's what made this movie for me. But the only natural disaster movie that actually made me motion sick was San Andreas with Dwayne Johnson. Little story about that movie. My dad took me, my stepmom, my sister, my half-sister, and my brother to go see it, and throughout half of it, I did not know I was motion sick. I was getting motion sick. There was a lot happening in that movie. And I blamed it on the drink that I had. And I almost ended up walking out because I felt like I was going to pass out. However, I sat through it, made it all the way through, It's a really good movie. Alright, next one. My favorite scary, not my favorite scary movie, but Haunted Mansion. I think this is like one of the more underrated Disney films. I keep forgetting about this. These flaps on the side of the case. There's the DVD. This is like the freaking third copy I've had of this film. The other ones got destroyed. But no, Eddie Murphy did a great job in this. The story is really well done. The effects are pretty cool. Like, this is like, I think this is like Disney's one and only scary movie to a degree. Right. I'm not sure. Right. Next one, The Day After Tomorrow. I love this movie. Case for it. Yeah, I first saw this movie in my science class. We were discussing extreme. I know it was in my science class. I don't know what we were discussing, but we had to watch this movie for an assignment. Dennis Quaid's in it. Jake Gyllenhaal is in it. He plays Dennis Quaid's son. If you haven't seen it, I highly suggest go check it out. It's really good. Right, these next 4 movies are like 4 of the 7 Child's Play films. Yeah, the discs are not that special, but I love the Child's Play franchise. It's my favorite horror franchise, aside from Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street. It's got the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th one in it. We're really good. I enjoy these movies a lot. I think the 4th one is my favorite out of all of them. You can find me on that later. These movies. My Back to the Future trilogy. I love these movies. I cannot tell you how much I love these films. I saw this case in, I saw this in Walmart. I got it for $20. Totally worth it. It's got all 3 movies in it. There's DeLorean, and I also got a shirt of the first movie. Don't know if you can see it, but that shows how much I love these films. See, the case is really cool. Yep, got this at Walmart for $20. I think this is like my favorite sci-fi trilogy because of the time traveling mechanics in it. The characters in it are all great. Like, the stories in each movie are really good. Just a second, let me get this fixed up. That's better. I had to do this with 2 hands. Yeah, I love these movies to death. Like, the stories, the characters, they're all fantastic. Like, I can seriously watch all of these movies over and over again and I'll get bored. Trust me, if y'all haven't seen it, go freaking watch them. What are y'all doing with your lives? Alright, this next one, I have never cried harder in a dog movie than I have with this one. The ending to, like, Marley and Me, this movie hits me harder because, as I mentioned before, I had to put my dog down not for the same reasons that they put Marley down, but it hits me harder now. Because I love dogs, and I literally love the dog in this. I forgot. Owen Wilson and Jennifer Aniston is in it. They're really good in this. Again, Back to the Future. Like, Michael J. Fox as Marty. Christopher Lloyd as Doc. Lee Thompson as Lorraine, Marty's mother. And Crispin Glover. He's only in the first one, though. Reasons being he did not like how the first movie ended, which I understand. I totally get. But his role in the movie, their roles in the movie was really entertaining to watch. This next one is one of my favorite childhood movies, Jumanji. Like, this one's got Robin Williams in it. I have seen the other ones. I don't have them though. I mean, do y'all agree that it would be cool to have Robin Williams reprise his role in the Jumanji movies? Yeah, he was my favorite actor. I'm still sad he died, though. Still, one of my favorite movies of all time. Not even gonna lie. This next one, like, y'all remember how I said I didn't have, like, the Outsiders movies? Well, now I do. I got this, like, the Blu-ray copy on eBay or Amazon, I think. This is the full novel. And if I'm being completely honest, I prefer this version other than the original. Because we actually get more scenes from the book. We didn't get a lot of that. Especially Rob Lowe's scenes. He was kind of pissed off. If you watch the behind the scenes of this, he was kind of pissed off. He said he was mad. I'm kind of upset about how they cut out a lot of his scenes. Because his character, Soda Pop, has the more important scenes in this movie. Like, plus, that's the movie, if y'all haven't seen it, that's the movie like a lot of big time stars got bigger roles in. That's where they started from. Like C. Thomas Howell, like I follow him on Instagram. He's a really cool guy. Rob Lowe. Patrick Swayze, rest in peace. Emilio Estevez, Tom Cruise. This was one of his first movies. Ralph Macchio, and Matt Dillon, Diane Lane. That film is the reason why they're all big stars today. Sorry, if it sounds like I'm out of breath, it's because I am. Alright. Next one is my favorite zombie movie of all time. Like, they did make a sequel. I do love the sequel, though. No, I didn't show that. Inside of the case here. See, it's a black disc. Know that? Yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, so my favorite zombie movie I've ever made. I've had this. Yeah, the disc looks messed up, and it kind of is. You know what I'm saying? Yes, 28 Days Later is my favorite movie. All that. I have seen those, but I have seen this one more than I have with the other ones. This is my favorite zombie movie ever made, and I won't say otherwise. Nothing will top it. I love it. Alright, these next movies, I love them unabashedly. The Shining and its sister sequel, Dr. Sleep. I'm not gonna lie, The Shining is possibly my favorite horror movie ever made. And I love the cover. I got this at Walmart for about $11. Saw it and I had to get it. And The Shining, hands down my favorite horror movie of all time. Not because it doesn't have a whole lot of jump scares in it, as far as I know, but it's more psychological. Yes, I saw this movie when I was 12. I didn't really get it, it didn't scare me, but the more I watched it, the more I got it, and it became my favorite horror movie. And its sequel, Dr. Sleep, it's actually really good. It was directed by Mike Flanagan, I think that's his name, who also directed Gerald's Game. If you haven't seen that movie, it's another Stephen King adaptation, like these two are. The Shining, yeah, I love the cover art for The Shining here. It's really cool with the outline of Jack Nicholson, but the hotel and Daniel Lloyd and riding his tricycle. It's a shame that Stephen King did not like the movie. He doesn't like the movie because it's a lot different from the book of it. And I can understand why. Because Stanley Kubrick, who directed The Shining, did a lot of changes to it. In the book, the Overlook Hotel, the name of the hotel in the movie, it got burned down in the book. And Jack did not redeem his character in the movie. But we can't change it now. It is the way it is. What it is. No. Oh well. And I think that's by far Jack Nicholson's his greatest role I've ever seen. He's really good. This movie knew how to make Jack Nicholson terrifying, and he's actually a really nice guy. So props to that. Right. Here's the other the original version of The Outsiders that I have. The only thing I like about this is the music. That's the only problem I got with the full novel. They didn't keep the music from this version. Much more emotional. Yeah. I love this movie to pieces, guys. You wouldn't understand. This movie, like, hold on, I'm out of breath. You'll have to forgive me. like this movie, I love to death. My nieces love it. Says, can we watch Bella? Can we watch Bella? Because that's the dog's name. This movie is so cool. I really love this movie. The ending to it actually made me cry. Because I have never seen, like, a bond between a human and a dog so strong like in this movie. Like, yeah, this movie is really cute. And like in the movie, if you haven't seen it, the dog, she ends up raising a cougar, like, as her own. She calls Big Kitten, which I think is a really cute, affectionate name. And the cougar in this is actually CGI all the way through. Reasons being, they don't need a real cougar, like, causing havoc, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm completely out of breath. Okay, this one, Unfriended. This movie is really, it's actually really cool. You don't, this movie is like about these 6 friends who get bitten in the ass by karma after posting a video online a year prior to this, an embarrassing video. Why can't I do this? Give me a minute here. So, after my most recent rewatch of it, it's not as good as I remember. The dialogue is really cringy in most parts. But, I mean, if you want to go watch it, then by all means go right ahead. Maybe your opinion on it will be different than mine. Let's see. Hey, these movies, like Balto and Balto 2. Balto is one of my favorite animated movies because it's based on a true story, for the most part, about this dog who saves a town of sick kids and all that. Yeah, the first one's based on a true story for the most part. The second one, it's not, but I do enjoy it a lot. Like, if y'all haven't seen these movies, go check them out. I guarantee you will not be disappointed. This next one, this movie, it's not even really a movie, it's more of a documentary of an actual kidnapping of these 3 women who have been held captive in this house for more than a decade. You can go do more research on this. It's called the Cleveland abductions. You can get more insight on it. I looked in more into it, and yeah, the real victim, Michelle Knight, she goes more into what really happened in that house. Like, a lot of bad things happened here. Yeah, I think this happened between 2002 and 2013. And yeah, this movie is kind of disturbing to a degree, but it's really good. I really enjoy it. This movie, I still have it, yeah. By far my favorite animated film. It's like, again, it's like the most underrated Disney film I can think of. The thing that bothers me about, like, movies like these, it's like these movies, like, whenever there's, like, not a Disney princess in it, it's automatically underrated. I don't get it. I really don't. This is a fantastic film. It really is. I think it's loosely based on Treasure Island. Like, trust me, guys, this is a fantastic animated film. I highly recommend it. Yes, I still have my Last of Us game. I don't have a PS4, unfortunately. But I do keep it for collector's purposes until I can get me a new one. So here's the cover art. Yep, hands down my favorite game of all time. The story in it's awesome. The characters are great. Like, the music's fantastic. and the freaking graphics in it are top notch. Dude, I love this game. And they're also remaking this game. And I know I'm gonna love it. I love the original, I love this remastered version, and I know I'm gonna like this remake of it. And they're making an HBO series, which I know I'm gonna like. Hopefully they don't disappoint me. Let's not do that. Alright? And yes, I have the sequel. Yeah, this is actually, like, not as good as the original, but it is good. Although, there are a couple of issues I have with it. For one, the pacing on this is too long. It took me a week and a half just to finish this fucking thing. If I can get this test out. But, and there's a major character death towards the beginning. If you haven't played it, I don't want to spoil it. Let's just say it upset a lot of people. But some of the original characters from the first game is in this, especially Ellie right there. Like, yeah, this game not as good as the original, but it's still good. I don't think I'm gonna play it again. I'll watch playthroughs of it, but yeah, if you haven't played it, yeah, I would. Yeah, go right ahead. See if you like it or not. This next one, I actually recently got. It's one of my favorite 80s films. Like my dad had introduced me to this film, and I don't regret it. I love this movie. Like, the story in it's awesome. The characters are great. Like, the best high school movie of all time. You got that right. Like, again, just like with the Back to the Future series, I can watch this movie 100 times over and not get bored of it. Like, this movie, I actually only watched one time, and I only needed to watch it one time. And the disc is not in here. That's freaking great. Oh well. See, it's got Morgan Freeman in here. Casey Affleck. I think he's Ben Affleck's son. Could be wrong. But, like, this movie has got, like, one of the moral questions that you would sometimes hear. Like, apparently in this movie it's about, like, a little girl who gets kidnapped from her shitty mother, and we're trying to find her, and, like, halfway through the film, I think, they believe that the little girl died, but one of the characters here actually has her. I'm not going to tell you who, you'll just have to find out for yourself. It's not that bad of a movie, but, right. Like, this movie is actually, like, I have never felt more intense with a fucking movie than this one. Like, see, Halle Berry is in it. She's about, like, she plays, like, a young suburban mom who is, like, whose son is kidnapped right before her eyes, and she goes hell and back to get her kid back. Like, this movie is actually really good. Like, again, I've never felt more stressed out watching a freaking action movie than this one. But, alright, this one is hands down one of Tom Hanks' best films. It's one of the best war movies I have ever seen. It's got Tom Hanks, Steven Spielberg directed this, I think. Yeah. Or 1998, Steven Spielberg. He's one of my favorite movie directors of all time. It's got Matt Damon in it, Tom Hanks. Like, I think this movie is, like, the best representation of World War II, in my opinion. No, World War D-Day, I think. But yeah, I watched this movie in school, fell in love with it instantly. I had to watch it for my history class, had to sign a waiver for it because of the violence in it. It was worth it. I highly recommend this film. It's really good. It's really good. Alright, this one is actually, like, the remake of the original 1998 version of Child's Play of the same name. When this movie first came out back in 2019, I was doubting it. I didn't think it was going to be any good. But I watched it, and I actually really like it. It's one of the It's one of the better horror movie remakes that I've seen in recent years. You know, Gabriel Bateman plays Andy in this. Of course, Andy is a little bit older. He's got a hearing issue. And Chucky in this, he's actually an AI robot, not a possessed serial killer doll like in the original. But and if you didn't know, like, the guy that voices Chucky in this is the guy that played Luke Skywalker in Star Wars, the original Star Wars, I think. And they make a Star Wars reference in this because Andy gives Chucky the name Han Solo. But Chucky decided that his name was going to be Chucky. I don't know why, but this was a really good remake. I highly enjoyed it. This one, like Nanny McPhee, I don't hear a lot of people talking about this film, actually. It's kind of sad. One of Emma Thompson's better films, the way she's in Treasure Planet. She's also in Treasure Planet. She voices the cat in the captain. It's actually a really magical film. If you haven't seen this one, please do. This movie needs more recognition. It's actually really good. Right, this film, like, another one of my favorite 80s movies. It's an adaptation of Stephen King's novel called The Body, and Rob Reiner directed this movie. It's one of his best films I've ever seen. Because it's got River Phoenix, Corey Feldman, Jerry O'Connell, and Will Wheaton. Yeah, this movie is fantastic. Dude, like, sad because River Phoenix, who played Chris in that movie, he actually passed away in 1993 from a drug overdose, I think. It's really upsetting. Like, these next films, like, these were actually my mom's films. Nightmare on Elm Street